Hey, hey, it is Kate and Lanissa coming at you with another episode of What's Hot and What's Not for Physician Liaisons and Healthcare Sales Reps. And today we are talking about punctuality. What is hot is being on time, being punctual, listen to me, being punctual. And it sounds like it is so simple. It sounds like it should go without saying, but I have heard so many stories and seen with my own eyes so many times reps that are late or actually miss appointments, lunches, breakfast, all together. And Kate, I am sure you've seen or experienced this too. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I mean, life happens to all of us. We're all late at some point, but it's those that it makes that it's a habitual habit for, Well, you might have a friend like that who like never shows up on time for your lunch date or your coffee date. And I mean, I have a family member that we jokingly say we tell her about a date. We tell her 2 days early so she'll be there on time. It's a joke, but it's true. And in our line of work, you really can't afford that time that you had scheduled with that office. It's valuable, right? They're in the middle of their busy work day. If they agreed to give you an appointment or to give you a lunchtime, it's disrespectful to them to not show up on time and not be there on time, or to even worse, just completely ghost on them and not show up at all. But on the same side, I think it's important to know how to handle it if you are going to be late, because some things happen, right? Some things happen. I remember I got this meeting with this doctor that had not really given me a lunch meeting before. This was brand new. It was kind of a high stakes, could flip this account. And on the way there, I got rear-ended. So on the way to the meeting, I got rear-ended. There's nothing I can do about that, right? Absolutely nothing. But the first thing I did after we called the police to come for the accident was I called the office and I let them know what happened. And they were very much concerned for my safety. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Yeah, no, that's totally fine. We'll let him know. And I let them know what happened. I said, hey, I can probably still be there. I'll just be, 20 or 30 minutes late. And they were able to let me still come in. And the doctor was so understanding and was so he even stayed late to finish that lunch with me, because that scenario was outside of my control. Right. But the important thing is I called them. I let them know. I gave them a heads up. And I gave them the option, I can still come or we can reschedule. And the ghosting or just showing up late with no story or no warning, that's where you get into trouble. I think I would recommend letting them know if you're going to be even 10 minutes late, especially if it's for a lunch. Just call them or text them or email them or something. Let them know. Do your best to send some skywriting up. Let them know that you're going to be late, because that alleviates them questioning if you're going to show up or not, waiting. While they're waiting, they're getting annoyed with you for being late. So if you're going to be late, let them know.
Right. Especially if it's lunch and you've got the food. Because
yes.
You don't want an angry office waiting on you. If you're having
that's the worst.
Delivered, it's a little better, because at least you can call and say, look, I'm stuck in traffic or whatever. I'm a little bit late, but
right.
The food is there. So that's a little bit better. But if you've got the food with you, then you definitely have to call and let them know that you're going to be late, because you cannot have a hangry staff waiting on you wondering where their lunch is or where their breakfast is.
Yes. And I think it's important to be flexible too. If you're running late because of the food or whatever that means for your appointment is what it means. If that means that you got the food out, they ate it, and you talked to one person for 5 minutes, it is what it is, right? Don't expect to have the full lunch just because you still showed up with the food, but you showed up 30 minutes late. You just have to let that go and reschedule it. Because I have seen that too, where the rep picked up the lunch. We were late with the lunch, and we were 30 minutes into their 1 hour lunch break, and we still wanted to go coast to coast with all the information, the full 1 hour lunch presentation. And it just got a little bit awkward at the end, because people are like, got patience. There's, we got to unlock the door. Just be mindful of what that means, your tardiness, what that means for the rest of your appointment, if you have any time at all left.
Right. Yeah, that's your responsibility. So speaking of being late, that is what's not hot, is being late and not being punctual. And I kind of have one of my own late stories. So when I was in a new territory, I had ordered a breakfast one morning at Grandy's of all places. And because I did not know the geography, and this was back before we had fancy phones and GPSs on our phones. So that tells you how long I've been doing this. That kind of betrays my age a little bit. And I hate to admit that, but I had ordered.
How experienced you are.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that a lot better. That just shows how experienced I am. I had ordered apparently at the wrong Grandy's on the wrong side of town. So I went to pick up the breakfast at the Grandy's that I thought it was, which was right by the office I was going to. And lo and behold, it was the wrong Grandy's. And so I had to drive all the way across town to the right Grandy's to pick up the breakfast. In the meantime, mind you, I called the office to tell them what was going on. But again, because this is a new territory, new geography, and we did not yet have these little fancy maps in our phone, I got lost going back to the office. And what is so crazy is the day before, I had found my way to the Grandy's, found my way to the office, mapped everything out, planned it, timed it, just made sure that I had everything under control. And so all of that to say the best laid plans can still go astray. So I get lost, I call the office again, tell them I'm going to be late, but I am still coming. And I finally show up with the breakfast, get this, 45 minutes late. But I show up with breakfast, and I just apologize all over myself. I had by this time had called the office 2 or 3 different times, telling them what was happening every step of the way, apologizing all over myself. So not only am I new rep in a new territory, new to this office, this is my first impression with this office. So I am mortified, I am humiliated, and I've just done the best that I can. Thankfully, the office was kind enough to take pity on me and have mercy on me, and they still welcomed me with open arms and ended up being a great account. I tell all of you that because yes, being late is not hot, but back to what Kate and I were talking about, if the unforeseen happens and you are going to be late, do not ghost your accounts, because if you communicate and you continue to communicate and you continue to just do your best, be sincere, be upfront, then there still is opportunity to build relationship and rapport with those accounts. And just like in your situation with the accident, you were still managed to save that relationship and save that appointment. And so there's still opportunity there. So as much as it depends on you, be punctual, be on time. But when life happens and the unforeseen happens, communicate. Don't go bury your head. Don't go ghost people, and be punctual.
If you can. All in your power, be punctual.
If you can, because that is what's hot. And thank you so much for tuning in today. If you want to learn more, you can check us out on lb.solutions, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.